When you think of Carrie Fisher, the first thing that probably comes to mind is Princess Leia, the fearless leader of the Rebel Alliance in Star Wars, whose iconic hairstyle and strength became symbols of empowerment for generations. But Carrie Fisher was so much more than the role that made her famous. She was an actress writer, mental health advocate, and a woman who used her platform to speak candidly about the struggles she faced, both in the public eye and behind closed doors. Carrie was the daughter of legendary actress Debbie Reynolds and singer Eddie Fisher, born into a family that lived in the spotlight. Her early life was anything but ordinary, and the pressure of growing up in the public eye shaped her in ways that she would later open up about. Her story is not just one of fame, but of resilience, vulnerability, and the courage to share her most personal battles with the world. Carrie Fisher's journey was full of unexpected turns, including overcoming addiction, battling mental health challenges, and eventually becoming a voice for those struggling with the same issues. It was her authenticity and humor that made her not just a Hollywood icon, but a beacon of strength for many. Carrie Fisher's breakthrough came in 1977 when she was cast as Princess Leia Organa in George Lucas's Star Wars, later retitled Star Wars Episode IV, A New Hope. The film, set in a galaxy far, far away, was unlike anything audiences had ever seen before. It wasn't just the groundbreaking visual effects, the futuristic ships, or the complex mythology, it was the characters. And at the heart of it all was Leia, a strong, courageous, and brilliant leader in a galaxy torn apart by war. In her portrayal of Leia, Carrie Fisher broke the mold for what female characters could be in action films. She wasn't a damsel in distress waiting to be saved. She was a rebel leader, skilled diplomat, and a fighter in her own right. She led the fight against the Empire, proved her intelligence and bravery, and had one of the most iconic lines in cinematic history. "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope." Carrie's portrayal of Princess Leia captured the hearts of millions. Leia's blend of vulnerability and strength, intelligence, and compassion became the model for future female protagonists in film. Carrie Fisher was the first to show that a female character could be tough and compassionate, assertive, and empathetic. She wasn't just a sidekick or romantic interest, she was a hero in her own right. Carrie Fisher's role as Leia would become the foundation of her career, but it also came with immense challenges. The global success of Star Wars catapulted her to international fame, but it also brought unwanted attention to her personal life. As an actress in a franchise that became a worldwide phenomenon, Carrie had to navigate the pressures of fame at a young age. The Star Wars films. The Empire Strikes Back 1980 and Return of the Jedi 1983 cemented Carrie's place in pop culture. In The Empire Strikes Back, Leia's relationship with Han Solo, played by Harrison Ford, became one of the most beloved romances in cinematic history. Their chemistry was undeniable, and it added emotional depth to Leia's character. Carrie's performance in these films was transformative. She made Leia one of the most recognized and admired characters in cinematic history, showing that female heroes could be complex, multidimensional, and relatable. Leia's determination to fight for what was right, her leadership in moments of crisis, and her iconic moments with Han Solo and Luke Skywalker all made her a character to be admired and loved by fans across the globe. Behind the fame and the success, Carrie Fisher faced her share of personal struggles that shaped much of her later life. From a young age, she had a complicated relationship with her fame and her place in the public eye. Despite being one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood, Carrie often felt the pressure of living up to the expectations that came with being a star. And as she later revealed in her memoir Wishful Drinking 2008, she turned to substances to cope with the emotional toll that fame and family life had on her. Carrie struggled with alcohol and drug addiction throughout much of her early career. These struggles, however, didn't define her. In fact, she turned to her own experiences with addiction and mental health to help others who were facing similar issues. She would later share her struggles with bipolar disorder, a mental health condition that she was diagnosed with in her 20s, in public interviews and through her writing. Carrie's openness about her addiction and mental health struggles was groundbreaking. At a time when mental health issues were often stigmatized, Carrie Fisher became one of the first celebrities to publicly speak about the realities of living with bipolar disorder and the difficulties of battling addiction. Her honesty, humor, and willingness to be vulnerable helped to break down barriers and open up conversations around mental health. In her memoir, Wishful Drinking, Carrie Fisher laid bare her struggles with addiction, mental health, and her complex relationship with fame. The book became a bestseller, and her candid writing resonated with readers who had their own struggles. The way she wrote about her addiction to prescription drugs, her time in rehab, and her moments of clarity and self awareness made her an important figure in the mental health advocacy community. Carrie's humor and sharp wit were central to how she approached her struggles. Her ability to joke about her addiction, mental health issues, and family life made it easier for others to laugh and cry with her. In a way, she took away the stigma of mental illness, showing the world that being open and vulnerable about your struggles is not a weakness, but a strength. Her willingness to speak openly about her experiences helped normalize the conversation around mental health addiction and recovery, making her an important figure in the conversation about mental wellness in Hollywood and beyond. Carrie Fisher's honesty, while sometimes uncomfortable, gave voice to countless people who felt isolated in their own battles. Carrie Fisher's talent extended far beyond acting. In addition to her iconic role as Princess Leia, she was also an accomplished writer and author. Her writing career began in the 1980s when she first published a semi-autobiographical novel titled Postcards from the Edge, 1987. The book was a darkly comic look at a young woman's struggles with addiction and mental health, drawing heavily from Carrie's own life experiences. Postcards from the Edge was a success, and it was eventually adapted into a movie starring Meryl Streep, Shirley MacLaine, and Dennis Quaid. The film, like the book, received critical acclaim, and Carrie's unique perspective on life addiction and recovery resonated with a wide audience. Her sharp wit, coupled with her raw honesty, made her writing stand out in a crowded literary world. Carrie's work as a writer wasn't limited to fiction. She also wrote several memoirs, including Wishful Drinking, 2008, and The Princess Diarist, 2016, both of which became bestsellers. Wishful Drinking focused on her experiences with addiction, her time in rehab, and the difficulties of living under the public spotlight, while The Princess Diarist delved into her time on Star Wars and her complicated relationship with the legacy of Princess Leia. Carrie Fisher's literary work didn't just reflect her personal experiences, it became a powerful tool for advocating for mental health awareness and breaking down the stigma surrounding addiction. By sharing her struggles so publicly, she gave a voice to those who felt isolated by their own battles. Her writing was not only entertaining, but also healing, both for herself and for countless others who found solace in her words. In addition to her writing, Carrie also continued to advocate for mental health through her speaking engagements and public appearances. She became a prominent figure in the mental health advocacy community, using her fame to raise awareness and create conversations around mental illness. Carrie's authenticity and willingness to confront the challenges she faced made her a symbol of hope for many. Her work, both as an actress and as a writer, has left a lasting impact on Hollywood and on the world. Carrie Fisher's legacy is more than just the characters she portrayed on screen. It's about the way she lived her life and the way she used her platform to make a difference. She showed the world that being vulnerable and embracing your flaws is not a weakness, but a strength. Carrie Fisher's legacy extends far beyond her iconic role as Princess Leia. Her influence is felt not only in Hollywood, but also in the wider world of mental health advocacy. Carrie's decision to be open and honest about her battles with addiction and bipolar disorder made her an influential figure in the conversation about mental illness and recovery. Through her books, interviews, and public appearances, she became a leading voice for people struggling with mental health issues and addiction. Carrie's candidness about her own struggles helped break the stigma surrounding mental illness. She was one of the first major public figures to speak openly about her bipolar disorder and how it affected her life. She didn't hide from her challenges, she embraced them, showing the world that mental health issues do not define who you are. Her efforts raised awareness about the importance of seeking help, and she gave many people the courage to seek treatment. Her impact as a role model for mental health awareness and addiction recovery is immeasurable. Carrie Fisher was not just an icon for her portrayal of Princess Leia, but also a symbol of strength, vulnerability, and resilience. Her ability to be honest about her own battles with addiction and mental health has inspired countless individuals to be more open and compassionate toward themselves and others facing similar struggles. Carrie Fisher's legacy is carried on through her continued influence in pop culture and her advocacy work. In 2016, after her untimely passing, tributes poured in from around the world with fans, friends, and fellow actors celebrating her life and work. Her contribution to cinema is immortalized in the characters she portrayed, but her work in mental health advocacy continues to resonate with people to this day. Her final appearance as Leia in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker 2019 was a fitting tribute to both the character and the actress. Carrie's passing left a void in the hearts of millions of fans, but her impact continues through the messages she shared and the work she did for those struggling with addiction and mental health issues. Carrie's story is a testament to the fact that no matter the struggles you face, you can still make an impact. She turned her personal battles into opportunities to raise awareness, and her ability to find humor in even the darkest moments made her a beacon of hope for many. Today, Carrie Fisher's legacy continues to inspire generations of people, not just as Princess Leia, but as a champion for mental health and personal resilience. Carrie Fisher's influence in Hollywood transcends her iconic role as Princess Leia. Her career and legacy were built not just on her acting, but also on her ability to speak truthfully and openly about the complexities of life. She didn't just portray powerful female characters on screen, she embodied strength, vulnerability, and resilience in real life as well. Fisher's openness about her personal battles with addiction and bipolar disorder has had a profound effect on Hollywood and the broader entertainment industry. Her willingness to share her story helped start conversations about mental health addiction and recovery that were often considered taboo in an industry that thrives on the myth of perfection. In doing so, she became a voice for those whose struggles had been silenced for far too long. In Hollywood, where the pressure to maintain a flawless public image is intense, Carrie Fisher was a breath of fresh air. She used her fame to fight against the unrealistic beauty standards set by the media, and her candidness about her own body image struggles inspired many to embrace their authentic selves. Her legacy is a reminder that even in a world obsessed with perfection, it's our flaws and imperfections that make us human, and that is something worth celebrating. Carrie Fisher's passing in 2016 left an indelible mark on both the entertainment industry and the world of mental health advocacy. Tributes to her poured in from fans, friends, and fellow celebrities who celebrated her life, her work, and her unwavering honesty. She was remembered not only for her portrayal of Leia, but also for the way she used her platform to break down barriers surrounding mental health. Her legacy has inspired countless people, especially those dealing with mental illness or addiction, to be more open about their struggles and to seek help without shame. She showed that perfection isn't the goal. Authenticity, self-acceptance, and vulnerability are the keys to living a fulfilling life. Carrie Fisher was an advocate for those who are often invisible in society, and her work continues to inspire future generations to live with courage and authenticity. Carrie Fisher's contributions to Hollywood mental health advocacy and gender equality have solidified her place as one of the most important figures in modern pop culture. Her work will continue to live on through her films, her books, and the countless lives she touched with her humor, wisdom, and unwavering strength. Carrie Fisher's influence goes beyond the Star Wars franchise, and she will forever be remembered as one of the most important figures in both the entertainment industry and pop culture. While her portrayal of Princess Leia brought her international fame, it was her authenticity, vulnerability, and courage to speak out about her personal struggles that made her a true icon. Carrie was a pioneer for strong female characters in Hollywood. Leia was one of the first empowered women in a blockbuster franchise who was not just there for a love story or to be rescued. She was a hero in her own right, making decisions and leading the charge against tyranny. Through her portrayal of Leia, Carrie challenged the traditional role of women in Hollywood and opened the door for more complex and empowered female characters to be seen in film and television. She was one of the first to redefine what it means to be a woman in Hollywood, not just as an actress, but as a writer and advocate for mental health. Her openness about her battles with addiction and mental health disorders paved the way for other actors to do the same. Carrie Fisher showed that there was no shame in being open about one's struggles, and that honesty and vulnerability could become a strength. Carrie Fisher's influence on Hollywood and the entertainment industry also extends to behind the scenes. As a writer, she was able to craft rich and complex characters for the screen and stage, both for herself and for others. Her script writing skills were widely respected, and she worked on various projects, including helping George Lucas improve the Star Wars scripts. She also worked as a script doctor, giving her expertise to various films and helping to shape the industry in ways that many fans and critics may not know. She also pushed for a broader representation of women in the industry, advocating for female writers, directors, and producers. Carrie was an active supporter of women's rights and gender equality, both on screen and behind the camera. She used her platform to encourage the industry to evolve and make space for diverse voices, both male and female, to be heard. Carrie Fisher's legacy as an advocate for mental health and empowerment will continue to inspire future generations of actors and creatives. Her life was a testament to the power of honesty, resilience, and self-acceptance. As a role model, Carrie showed that being authentic and vulnerable is a strength, not a weakness. Carrie Fisher's impact on Hollywood pop culture and mental health advocacy will never be forgotten. Her legacy is not just about the iconic roles she played on screen, but about the life she lived and the lessons she taught. From Princess Leia to mental health advocate Carrie Fisher, showed us that vulnerability and strength are not mutually exclusive, but are two sides of the same coin. Her story is a reminder that perfection is not the goal. Authenticity, honesty, and self-acceptance are what truly matter. Carrie Fisher taught us to embrace our flaws and to use our struggles as stepping stones to become stronger. Carrie's everlasting impact will continue to inspire generations of people to come, and her story will forever be a part of Hollywood history. If you loved learning about Carrie Fisher's incredible journey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing stories of Hollywood icons. Which Carrie Fisher role or moment had the biggest impact on you? Let us know in the comments below.